Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I know we have attendees from all over Europe today with us. My name is Diana Philip. I'm the Deputy CEO at JE Europe. I will be your moderator for today. And I'm really pleased to welcome you to the second edition of the STEMEduHack. And this is going to be the career talk that we kick off this hackathon today. And this would not have been possible without the support from Johnson & Johnson, who's partnering with us for the second edition. We had lots of participants in the first one, and we said, it would be great to give the opportunities to even more to join the second edition. So here we are for the second time for the STEMEduHack hackathon. Junior Achievement and Johnson & Johnson have been partnering to spark curiosity and foster long-term interest in STEM for many years. The global demand for STEM talent is growing, as we have seen it with the COVID-19 pandemic, and the pressure has been put on the health tech sector. Tomorrow's heroes, which is you, the young people present today, will have to tackle huge challenges ranging from climate change, future pandemics, sustainable energy resources, and many more others. All of these global issues require skills in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And this is why Junior Achievement and Johnson & Johnson put so much emphasis on the importance of STEM education. And here we are for the second edition of the STEMEduHack, where we need the future STEM champions. This webinar is a kickoff of the hackathon we are organizing today. We had teams from more than 12 European countries applying to participate. And this is an opportunity to hear your voices, to learn from different Johnson & Johnson employees, and be inspired from a variety of opportunities that STEM career offers. Special thanks again goes to Johnson & Johnson for supporting this second edition. Thank you to all the speakers who joined us today, the judges who will be with us tomorrow, and all the Johnson & Johnson volunteers who are supporting you. And good luck to all the students. I'm sure it's going to be a nice challenge ahead of you, and you will have 2 days of great opportunities to interact with your colleagues from different countries. Now I would like to give the floor to John Magner, who's the global lead for energy, sustainability, and FM program integration at Johnson & Johnson, for his opening remarks. Thank you for being with us today, John.
Thanks, Diana, and good morning, everybody. As Diana said, I'm John Magner. I work with the Engineering and Property Services group within Johnson & Johnson. I'm an engineer, and I'm responsible for energy and sustainability projects across Johnson & Johnson. I'm very proud to represent Johnson & Johnson on something that I'm personally very passionate about. I love engineering, technology, design, and welcome any opportunity to promote and encourage for anybody who would listen for somebody to consider a career or an area of study in engineering and in design and in manufacturing and in technology. I have a special interest also in that my daughter is a similar age to you, and I hope that someday she will also pursue a career in one of the STEM 2D fields, as she has a strong interest in design and technology, more on the artistic side than the engineering side. She has a dream to pursue a career in design as a special effects makeup artist for movies and theatre. I don't know how attainable that is, but it's her dream. She's passionate about it. And for me, that's all that matters. So why not? Johnson & Johnson is also passionate about STEM 2D. It has been a champion for women since it was founded over 130 years ago, when 8 out of the first 14 employees were women. Furthering that commitment in 2015, it launched the We STEM 2D initiative. What does We STEM 2D stand for? It's women in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, manufacturing, and design. It's a long title, so that's why we usually just say We STEM 2D. So for me, the best qualities of Johnson & Johnson are how much time and effort it wants to invest in STEM 2D. All of my team are engineers, and I'm lucky enough that half of them are women. My boss is also a female engineer, and her boss too. So we believe that women can be a catalyst for creating healthier people, healthier lives, healthier communities, and a healthier world. But we also recognize that there is not enough girls pursuing a career in STEM 2D. So we need to continue to support and encourage all STEM 2D development. This is why we're here today. We want to inspire and empower women and girls like you in the 6 vital fields of STEM 2D, no matter where you are located in the world. We want to help you see that you have limitless opportunities to change the trajectory of health for humanity. I'm really looking forward to being part of the judging panel tomorrow and seeing the inspiring ideas that you come up with in response to this challenge. I know that we can learn so much from you. So thank you very much and good luck with the challenge.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your kind words. And thank you also for being with us on the jury tomorrow. This will be indeed a very exciting opportunity to hear the solutions that these young people will draw forward after we announce the challenge. But before we announce the challenge, as I said before, we have some very inspiring people who will be sharing their career path with you. And that's an opportunity to all the young people, to ask questions. You see here the chat. I see many of you that are saying hello. That's really nice. It will be nice to hear from everyone. And please make sure you ask questions in the chat and I will bring it forward. But for that, I'm going to invite Joanna Niner, who is in fact the person behind this collaboration with Johnson & Johnson. She made it possible to organize this second edition. She really believed in the power of the young generation to really come up with new solutions to the future challenges. She helped us before, and now we are here for the second time. Joanna, thank you so much for joining us. We'd love to hear from your story. How did you arrive to where you are today? The floor is yours.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you for inviting me and offering this opportunity to interact with the girls across whole Europe. Actually, my thought was for today to have a conversation with you and being in front of you to show you what my career path look like and maybe inspire someone to ask questions and make some clarity in your things about career. Because first thing about myself, I'm a Romanian. I'm based in Bucharest. I'm actually born and raised in Bucharest. And if you look at my story about what I've done, it might look like I was in the same place for all my career. But you will see that actually, as most of the kids, I had different diverse interests in schools, and starting from liking, I don't know, enjoying doing math or learning English, or I had I've come to the point where to see what should I do next, what my career would look like. And because when you choose what your profession, usually you have to know you best. I was fortunate enough to have a teacher that actually opened my eyes and sparked my interest towards chemistry. And actually, I was very, very much enjoying the chemistry lessons and decided that I should learn more. And that's how I ended up going towards the chemistry faculty and learning about chemistry in depth. Inorganic chemistry was my thing, but that doesn't exclude the others type of chemistry. Being in Romania in the beginning of the years of 1990s, my career path was really fuzzy. Maybe you know that in that period, the Eastern European countries were changing political regimes. The confusion was very intense. So it was not very clear for a young student like myself what would be the next career path. And Giving that there were not such like professional advisors that could go, I put myself some questions. What would I like to do next with my knowledge about chemistry? And answering to this question that I would like to be in this field or connected at least, and doing good for my people, and the health is a value for me. Um, I looked for some jobs that were quite connected with the field, and that's how I applied to a pharmaceutical company for a job. I didn't know what is supposed to be my job. Even the title was medical representative was not clear enough. What is medical? What does it mean, a representative? Still, I found out by by experience that it meant to learn a lot, and learned a lot about medicine, learned a lot about pharmaceutical products, about drugs, clinical studies, what is behind a medicine before going to the market. And that meant to me some years to be in a in a let's say learning mode for, and with some challenges, and being out of my comfort zone, because medicine was not something that I was thinking to do, and I was somehow challenged to live up to the expectations of my partners of conversations. But I enjoyed, and I had the help from my peers, my colleagues, and in this respect, and also the help of the physicians when talking to them, being candid. And here I encourage you to preserve the candor and openness to dialogue with any any anyone that you talk, even in professional life, to admit what you know, what you have to learn, and to do as you promise. Keep your promise is something important across your career, and it's important also. I discover for me it's something that it was really important and shaped my career further. So I I started learning about products, discussing with physicians, going with my car across the country to different hospitals. I learned a lot about geography these years, and I was encouraged to not to stay in the same place. That was my learning from a senior manager who said, you know, at your age, I was 20 something. It's good to try new things, learn, and don't be afraid of change. So that's why I I took every opportunity I had professionally to increase my levels, even if it was like a lateral move. I was doing the same thing like a medical representative, but for a different companies, or meaning for different specialties, for different medical specialties, interacting with different physicians, and changing these companies changed a lot of perspective. Is it said that from a career perspective, every time that you have a new boss, you have an opportunity to grow your professional skills, and that is true, because being exposed to different types of people, it gives you opportunity to grow more. And at some point, I felt like I learned a lot, and I knew the most what this profession of medical representative is supposed to do. And I decided inside the company that I was back then, it was a French company, Sanofi Aventis, to to go to to be to participate in the contest, and to ask for a promotion to be a product manager, so to go to marketing department. as a junior for sure, as a junior position. So I changed from a senior position to a junior position, giving that the perspective that my new role would have been given to me. And that is a good thing. It was a very good thing because learning marketing push my knowledge and my limits towards learning how to discuss about the medicine, what it's behind a medicine, more than used to have the knowledge as a medical representative. And you get wiser when you know what you don't know. And that was my feeling back then. So I said, like, okay, that's also requires a lot of education from my side. So I asked my friends that were physicians in the field. So I was in psychiatry back then. I I haven't I didn't interact until then with psychiatry like a professional. So I asked them, please give me some lessons. Let me learn from you what I would need to know. And then the lateral move um, came natural when Johnson and Johnson came with the proposal. Uh, we have a we have a position of product manager, so marketing in psychiatry. Would you join us? I said, yeah, I would. Personally, I had also at that point, I was a mom with two kids, with two daughters. One of them was 8 months old. And I said, look, I would like to join you because asking about the culture, I felt like I would really fit in that. And I was right because since then it passed more than 10 11 years, and I'm with Johnson and Johnson with and I had also a career path with different departments, and I will go further. But the main message is that you should never be afraid of change, and the change is always a constant in our lives. So the impression that things should be stuck, it's only an impression. Things change even if you don't make yourself a change or choose something. You have to acknowledge that change is everywhere. So I joined Johnson and Johnson as a product manager on psychiatry. I learned the products. I had the connections. It felt easy on one hand, but on the other hand, I had to interact and to lead a team of unexperienced people, that were like me 7 8 years back before. So I felt like I was in the teaching seat, and um but also on the doing part. So taking the team along with me towards the psychiatry sessions, towards the field, going also in the visits, going in the hospitals, in the clinics, in engaging with physician to discuss, to interact, going to congresses to educate ourselves on the area, because you have to keep up with the level of knowledge, innovation, and discovery along the way. Otherwise, you lose the pace. I've done that. I've been promoted to lead a higher team, meaning across more therapeutical areas. Then inside Johnson and Johnson, it was an opportunity to develop new to 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 be on the department of new business development. So meaning going further for new partnership, going towards new companies, new compounds, and that rang a bell. And I've done that then for a period of time. And in the moment that it was clear that also the patient should be a partner of our conversation and changing the paradigm of pharmaceutical companies that were only discussing with physicians and not going towards the patients. I was really privileged and grateful to be chosen to to lead this department. Actually, it was only me. So it was department of one person. So I was the boss, I was the executant, but I was the one putting towards the patient relationships in the country. So scouting for patient associations, engaging in the conversations, seeing the needs of the patients, and then acting upon those needs and translating into projects really meant a lot for me. And this is currently what I'm doing. I'm doing the patient activities, patient support programs. Now I have a team with me. I'm not alone anymore, but we have an integrated effort towards the patients to support them to have better health outcomes. And that's my me on the career path. But it's not only that. I was thinking what to show to you and put what what I have done besides the changing from role to job in the second slide. And here, David, you may help me to show. I put the locations. It meant a lot of travel for me. It meant going towards different destinations, different meetings, way of interactions. But also it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun when you have the right company uh, besides you and you have the right attitude and mindset. It's also about ourselves, how we shape the our conversations with our partners and our colleagues, and in the end fulfilling our um, being fulfilled in our career. So if I have to, I would close it now, or I would like to answer to your questions if there are. Um, from me, the two learnings from my career was don't be afraid of any change, and the learning is a continuous process. It doesn't end with the school period. So
Indeed, indeed. Well, Ioana, thank you so much for sharing your story. That was really a great inspiration for everyone. I really invite people to come and ask questions while they are thinking of that. I have a question because you talk about role models at one point, and that was teacher. And this is the time when these young people are here with us, when they are in the moment of choosing for their future careers. Can you tell us exactly what did that teacher do to you, and what the other role models throughout your career path that you want to highlight?
so yeah, indeed. So that specific teacher really paid attention to myself, engage, asked me what would you like to do in life. So it were formal conversation actually in the breaks between different hours. So she put this interest towards many of us. So I was not the only one chosen for that. I realized that she did it consistently in as a teacher. So asking the kids which are the real interests besides her let's say what she was teaching. So and it was okay to say I'm not really keen in your in your part. So that was an example for
And
me. It is
other
yeah.
role models as well, because I feel that today the young people have the opportunity to be in touch with your colleagues who could be role models for them. Were there other role models in when you joined maybe Johnson and Johnson?
For sure, I had the role models in some of my peers. So some of my colleagues that were senior in the companies that were having a career longer than myself, so having been experienced different things and keen to share, but always, so people maybe are keen to share but not always go proactively to ourselves. So what I've learned is I have to ask, and we have to ask that, look, I would like to know more about yourself. I would like to know, please share with me about your career or what were your struggles. And people open up. So that's usually the way around. So don't expect anyone to go towards you and try saying what which were the problems or struggles. Go and ask first and expect an answer.
Okay, that's great. Well, I did receive a question in my private chat, but I want to encourage people to write also on this chat. And the question was, why would you encourage us to study STEM?
So, yeah, that's a very good question. I really I'm a science person, so that's my formation. I would encourage everyone to study STEM because it gives a certain degree of consistency in the life and approaching the life with the sense of let's say rules and of structure. So even if STEM it's not your favorite part, and it's okay also to be like that. So you are interested more in the art part or in the creative part of life. It's okay if you combine. In my opinion, it's okay also to go towards from STEM to STEAM domains, but it's and it's also a winning thing. Nevertheless, doesn't matter in the end what you choose to go towards. Put the passion, put the energy towards, and realize what you have in mind. That's my reason. Not
That's great. And I see that we have another question from Cyprus. They are really curious to learn, how did you manage to lead a team of inexperienced people?
Yeah, very good question. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's we started with the basics. So firstly, we acknowledge what we don't know, what we have to learn. They have to learn, and that meant a lot of training when possible, trainings from other people, or training on the field, so on day-to-day life, because the most of the learning is doing when you are connected with a more experienced person that knows how to do things and shows you by the example. So I approach differently, but the most of the time I was with the team along, so going towards in the same pace and learning with them, also helping them to learn.
Wonderful. Well, Ivana, thank you so much for sharing all this with us. I think I will stop it here on the questions. We can pick it up later if we still have time, because we also have your colleague Alessia Valenti, who's gonna share also a little bit her story, but she also have another task, which is very important for everyone here today, because she will be unveiling the challenge and sharing a little bit of background on why we gave you that challenge. So Alessia, thank you so much for joining us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you for inviting me. Good morning, all. I'm really honored to be here with you in front of this audience today. I'm really excited, probably much more today than when I needed to present, let's say, a budget in front of my stakeholders. So thank you really for this experience, also from my point of view. So as Diana told before, I'm here today for different reason. So I need, first of all, also to tell you about my experience. I am a woman in STEM, so I can maybe give you some information. Maybe this slide is so boring on my background. Maybe I can just tell you my story, my personal story, and my story in Johnson & Johnson. After that, I will introduce some concept on sustainability, and especially what is the meaning of sustainability for Johnson & Johnson. And after I will introduce the challenge that you need to accomplish in the next days. So first of all, my name is Alessia Valenti, and currently I'm responsible in Johnson & Johnson for energy and conservation management for all the sites that we have in EMEA. EMEA means Europe, Middle East, and South Africa. I joined Johnson & Johnson in 24. So more or less 17 years. So probably you were some of you was born in that year. And my background, I'm an environmental engineer. So I can really affirm that now my current job is completely fitting with what I studied when I was at the university, and is completely fitting with my passion. So as some of you, I'm based in Italy, I'm Italian, and in Italy you can also start deciding at the high school if you can follow a high school that is dedicating science and technology, or you can decide if you choose a school that is related to humanistic, let's say, area. So when I had your age, I followed the technology, science, and math high school, and just at that time I was really concentrated to follow also at university something that was related to math, science, and technology. I was really curious to really every time understand, let's say, how the things works in general, how I can maybe build something, even if I was a woman, and maybe my friends was really focused on some other topics. I was really curious about the world in general, and I was curious at that time about also the environment that was around of myself. I love, for example, in general, stay outside analyzing. Maybe I have a big passion for the sea. I'm currently also a scuba diver, and that was really important because the diving could associate technical, physics topics also with the passion of the environment, and that helped me also deciding at the university to go for this area of becoming an engineer and environmental engineer. So for me, study science, math was a pleasure. So for me, I spent really enough time working, let's say, and studying math or whatever. And at the same time, I want also to evaluate something that was related to the environmental. When I was young, I was maybe became a superhero, and maybe working in and take a degree in engineering and became was like maybe I can help to save the world in the future. Maybe I could combine my idea of math to creating something that could change the world. And for that reason, that combining my passion for the environment and for the nature, combining my idea to be a superhero, and combining also something that was related to math, I decided to become an engineer. I was lucky because after my degree, I entered in Johnson & Johnson. And I was also lucky because I entered in Johnson & Johnson for a temporary contract, just for 9 months at the beginning, for a substitution of a maternity leave. And I entered in the Department of Safety and Environment. And my first responsibility was to really follow the environmental part. So take care on the maintenance, on the activities, on the wastewater treatment plant, on the purifying water treatment plant in general. So, and for me, it was like a game, okay? I was there in this big manufacturing, and I was there with other people at the beginning, of course, with also people older than me in my team that helped me in understanding problem, in trying to solve a problem in order to increase the efficiency of some plant wastewater treatment or purifying water. I remained, after my 9 months, Johnson & Johnson decided to confirm my contract and my contract became from a permanent contract. And after I start, let's say, covering different role in H&S department, but also in the engineering department, growing and continuous growing also from not just from my boss, but also from my peers. I remember that I was seated in a big open space with a lot of people that every day are working, putting on their desk something, a problem, or a piece of machine that they need to study in order to understand how to improve this machine and maybe improve the efficiency of the line. And so I learn a lot, I grow a lot from a personal experience, but also from my career perspective. After my different role, I start increasing the area of my responsibility also from a logistic point of view. I became responsible not just for one manufacturing site, but I became responsible for the other manufacturing sites that were located in Italy. And 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to apply for a new position that was related to energy conservation. That was my really a dream that was in front of me, because in that way I really can help my company, but also the people that work around me in improving their life, the quality of life, working on maybe a reduction of energy consumption, reduction of CO2 emission, and help really the sustainability, the world, increasing the sustainability topics. And so starting from 2 years ago, I became the responsible for energy conservation for all the MEA region. So means that I'm really responsible to evaluate project ideas for all the manufacturing sites that we have in this geographical area in order to reduce the CO2 emission and the energy consumption. So I don't know, maybe the next step of my career, but what I can really suggest you, and after we can start discussing about the main topics, to be curious, to really stay always with your eyes open, trying to look opportunity, try to connect also with your peers, not just, of course, at your age, you have in front of you your teachers, your parents, your friends, your sister. So please ask questions to all of them. It's not always easy to understand what you want to do in your life in the future. Also, when you grow, also in your company, it's not always easy to understand which could be your next step. But it's really important to ask, to be curious, and to maybe to continue to have your passion and also your rational part in front of you, and combine and use your mathematical approach, your technological approach, your science approach in the choice that you need to make in the future. Now, I don't know, I see Diana, so I don't know if you have a question already.
Well, I was thinking you were so passionate about STEM that maybe it's good to really ask a couple of questions now, and then you go and talk about the sustainability, because I really love how you put it all in a frame, a woman in STEM, and how you combine the work that you do today at Johnson & Johnson with your passion in life, the scuba diving and all that. So, and you talk about superheroes, which is the topic of our campaign, the Tomorrow's Heroes, of all these young people. So I feel a lot of inspiration coming from you. And it was really nice. I wanted to ask you, maybe you can tell us a little bit about some role models that can left a really good mark on your career.
Okay. I think that I was really, in my career, I was really happy and I was really lucky because I had every time a really good boss. Of course, my first boss was fundamental for me, also because I was really I can say a baby when I enter in Johnson & Johnson, because I had 23 years. So was really baby. So, and Johnson & Johnson was for me my family. And I don't have any kind of experience. I was really good on reading book, do good exercise. I didn't know anything about manufacturing world, environmental practical things. And I had my boss that was completely, I was his shadow. So I completely did shadowing with him. So, and for me was role modeling. So I think I remember that for the beginning, for the first 6 months, I was really absorbing every singular word, every singular things, way that he had to write emails, to present to the other people, in order really to absorb his knowledge as his experience. And he was my boss for a long period, and also now he's one of my peer, and he's one of the people that every day I work with, and there's really, and I think that he was really really good way to learn, and I had him as role modeling. And also I tried to be also a role modeling for the other people, okay, also for let's say my operator. So when I entered in Johnson & Johnson, I was a woman, I was a young woman, and I had operator under my responsibility that were older than me. And so I try maybe to have to enter maybe in a really calm way with them, and trying to put also before my idea their experience, in order also to be accepted by them, okay, in order to really create a team. And so after that, I was also able to be a role model also for them. I was with them also on Sunday when we did some maintenance activities, for example. And they were alone, and I arrived early in the morning, maybe arriving with the breakfast, because we need to work all together. And so also to create a family. That was my way to receive a role modeling and to be a role model for the other people.
And Alicia, I think you really proved it here, because as you can see, our colleagues from Israel said you're so inspiring. Thank you. So you are already a model for them, which is fantastic. We have so many young women here participating in this event, and a team from Israel was asking, what are the superhero qualities for you?
Oh,
you describe
good
those?
question. Good question. I think that right now, maybe the quality that the superhero need to have is to be multitasking in some situation, because multitasking probably in reality is something that doesn't work. Even if in some situation you need to do different things at the same time, you cannot always have the same concentration that you need to have. So this is something that that normally women are have this capacity much more to men in general, but I think that this is really a superpower, because when and this is also for a woman, when you need to be a mother, you need to be a manager, you need to be a wife. This is something that is really fundamental. So probably to be multitasking, to be present, let's say, in every situation at the same moment, is really a quality that a superhero needs to have.
Wonderful. And that triggers other questions. A question from Romania. What was your main motivation, or what did keep you consistent on your STEM path?
My main motivation was probably my motivation was really a passion. So for me, it was so natural. So I can. It's strange, because when you you are really following technology. In some situation, it's really difficult to have also passion inside. So it's like if you are your side that is rational and your side that is more passionate. In my case, my real motivation is to do something by the heart, something that was directly from the heart without any big effort to do that. It was natural. So that was my motivation, doing something that was under my skin. And for me, it was like a game.
That's fantastic. I do believe as well that passion is something that really triggers all that energy and motivation and support that you are showing us today. And this probably is the best connection to the topic you are presenting to us, because you are going to talk about the sustainability. And it cannot be more, because I see that you're passionate about it. So maybe we'll go directly into that. Because like you to unveil the challenge. If we have other questions afterwards, I will let you know. I saw that there were some people there, but I want you to make sure you cover this topic, because it's important for all the participants to really listen to this in order to understand the challenge.
Okay, perfect. So I want really briefly to introduce which is the concept of the sustainability, because in general, sustainability is something that could have a different interpretation. We know that we live in a world in which we have different countries with different languages, with different people that lives a life that maybe could be different from our life. But all these countries, all these people have in common the same place where we live. That is our planet, our heart. And in some situation, we need to take care not just of ourselves, but also about our planet. And for that reason, that not just Johnson & Johnson, but a lot of companies are fixing different goals, different targets in order to help our planet to continue to grow and to guarantee for the member of the planet a good quality of their life. So just coming back to the term of sustainability, if we analyze the word sustainability, maybe this word is created to the word sustain. And the meaning for the word sustain is really give support to hold to keep up. So in reality, sustainability is really an objective for something that is able to be sustained, something that is capable of being continued at a certain level. So if we need to transfer the meaning that this term has in this period, link to the environmental issues and link to the social problem, we can for sure say that creating an environment where it's possible to improve the quality of the life is the main meaning of the term sustainability. We don't need to compromise what the future world will be. We need to leaving the future generation on earth that is sustainable in order to have a perfect balance between healthy communities, clean air, natural resources, and a non-toxic environment. Now, next slide, please. What do you know what sustainability is for Johnson & Johnson? So Johnson & Johnson really strongly believes that poor environment health is a significant threat to human health. So there is some information that has estimated that 12.6 million of death each year could be attributed to unhealthy environment, included climate change. So 2/3 of these deaths are from different diseases coming from different air pollution, like we have disease like stroke, heart disease, cancer, chronic respiratory disease. For that reason that Johnson & Johnson decide really to have as a first priority the sustainability, and so define different objectives and do really something on the topics related to water, waste, air emission, energy, and climate change. So next slide, please. So just for giving you a flavor of what was the journey of Johnson & Johnson, Johnson & Johnson start the journey on carbon footprint reduction since 1986. So establishing the first procedure on the energy management. So that was really a long pathway of activities. Just for giving you an idea, we start implementing in one of the first location in US in 21, the first solar plant for renewable electricity. In 25, Johnson & Johnson dedicate a specific fund of 40 million per year to promote the project in order to reduce the energy consumption and the CO2 emission. In 2010, we start establish big goal on reducing of the 20% by 2020. So by last year, the reduction, the CO2 emission. And also in the other date, we installed the first wind turbine in our site. And in 2015, for example, we established our goal on became 100% renewable electricity energy for the next future years. So Johnson & Johnson, starting from the beginning, having this idea on the sustainability. Next slide, please. Just to giving you about some results about our goals that were established in 2010. So in 2020, the current status is that more than 50% of Johnson & Johnson electricity arrive from renewable energy sources, and more than 32% achieving reduction of Johnson & Johnson CO2 emission since the 2010. Consider that in 2010 also our site had a different footprint. Also in the last 10 years, we had also big acquisition. So this 32% versus the 2010 is really, really great achievement that in reality means much more than the 32, because the situation that we had in the other 10 years compared to the baseline change also as well for Johnson & Johnson. So it's really, really a good achievement. Now, next slide is just to show you that Johnson & Johnson, please next, is just continue to have additional goals, and these years has established the new goals for the next 10 years. So the first goal is to become completely 100% renewable electricity by the 2025, and became completely CO2 neutral by the 2030. Sorry, could you share the slide? So in general, Johnson & Johnson is sorry, are you still online?
And then, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, now yes, sorry.
Yeah, my colleague who's managing the slides has a power cut at home, so he will try to put the slides back up. Maybe you can just present, and then we will try to get them back ASAP.
Okay. Sorry, but I don't see. Also, I don't see you, Diana. It's normal. It seems that I can hear you, but I don't see any connection right now. It's okay.
We can hear you. You are in the spotlight. We can hear you. We just have a problem with the guy who's managing the internet.
The presentation. Okay, perfect. So I will continue using my slide. Okay, so as I told you, starting from this year, we have established new goals with Johnson & Johnson. So the goal is to become 100% renewable electricity in our operation by the 2025 and become completely carbon neutral in our operation by the 2030. Now, which is exactly the Johnson & Johnson sustainability strategy? So Johnson & Johnson is fixing different goals on the different topics that we have around sustainability. So Johnson & Johnson is working on specific goal to reduce the consumption of water, also to improve the water intensity. So what I mean is to improve the percentage of cubic meter of water that you use for unit of production. Johnson & Johnson is working to reduce the amount of waste generated, of course, reducing the air emission and reduce the consumption of energy. But which are some examples of what effective Johnson & Johnson is doing to optimize and reduce the use of water? First of all, we are working on technology. So we are working, for example, on the air conditioning system in water chiller to install new technology that are able to consume less water, for example. Or maybe we are trying to apply some technology to detect leakage that could arrive from our piping. We are also investigating a new formula in order to reduce the quantity of water that is present in our product. And also, we are investigating new technology for the wastewater treatment in order to reuse the water that we discharge after the treatment, and instead of discharge this water, we want to reuse this water maybe for technical usage. And what we are doing, for example, for waste, for reducing waste. For reducing waste, for example, we are changing the packaging of some our product. We have a famous product that is the cotton buds that normally have a plastic packaging, and now we are changing this plastic packaging in a cardboard packaging. So this is one of the big projects that is also changing all the production line. We are working on increase the efficiency of our production line in order to maybe reduce the waste of the bottle, the waste of maybe the cups that we have. And maybe we are evaluating also treatment on site to reuse some waste instead of dispose this waste. And what we are doing for our energy and climate strategy. First of all, we are working on a different corner. Okay, we are working on a supply side, trying to optimize the supply side. What does it mean? Means that we are trying to sign some specific contract to build some renewable plant like solar panel plant with turbine outside our country, but that in any case are able to guarantee the energy for our plant. We are also working on the installation of cogeneration plant, geothermal system, and solar and wind directly in our plant. But we are also working with a different project to optimize the consumption inside our building, maybe using LED lighting, or maybe just be sure that during the moment in which the manufacturing is not really working, that all the utilities are completely switched off. So this is what the idea that Johnson & Johnson is implementing in his manufacturing site. One of them, for example, the other project that has been approved last year was to move the production of, let's say, the bottle directly inside the manufacturing that we have. Normally, the bottle are produced in a separate manufacturing area. Now we move in-house the production of the bottle in order to reduce the transportation and to reduce the CO2 emission linked to the transportation of our trucks that move the bottle from one manufacturing site to another one. Now, guys, it's up to you now. Now, really, I want to put also our future in your hand. And with this, let's say, word, I wanted to introduce the challenge that you have for the next day. So the challenge that you have is, of course, using a combination of your experience, your skill, your science, technology, engineering, and math, and entrepreneurial skills that you have in your team to come up with an innovative idea that will make the pharmaceutical industry more sustainable. So think about manufacturing, about packaging, about maybe instruction leaflet. I don't know. Think about the elimination of debt in order to have maybe some app now that could have all the instruction leaflet inside. Think about water reduction, waste management, distribution and supply chain. Really, please think out of the box. You are young, you have a lot of idea. Take experience of the world that you have around you, and please take this challenge and be ready to propose your idea by tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Fantastic presentation, and amazing to see how many nice things Johnson & Johnson is doing on sustainability. I'm sure we could have spent hours only on that topic. And I saw that there were questions about your career, but I think I will send those to you, and then we can respond to the people afterwards, because we do arrive to the time when it's for them to really dig into the challenge. I think it's a fantastic challenge you put forward. They have to come up with new innovative ideas to make the pharmaceutical industry more sustainable. Huge challenge ahead, but I think it's really a great one. And I want to thank you, all the speakers. Thanks to you, John, Ioana, and Alicia, for being with us this morning, for unveiling the challenge. And good luck to the students. It's really nice for you to dig into this topic. And I wish you all the best for the next days. Looking forward to seeing your presentations. And I have a great team of colleagues behind the screens here who will be guiding you through the process together with Johnson & Johnson volunteers. So I'll give the floor to Simona and Nicolo to tell you the next steps.